Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. I'm going to be getting stuck into this game nice and early in the morning. In fact, I just woke up like 15 minutes ago, so yeah, it should be awesome, and hopefully I won't be yawning all over the place because I'm actually awake right now, I think. Anyway, we're going to be playing a TvT right now. We've had Protoss and Zerg all over the place recently, so I thought a nice TvT would be a nice change to sort of mix it up for your daily masters. So, down the bottom left side of the map, we do have our blue Terran player. His name is Neeb, and let's talk a little bit about Neeb, because I definitely have not cast him recently, or I don't think I've cast any games from him at all. Now, Neeb is from the US of A. He was in the FXO Open esports team, but I think that team closed down, so he currently does not have a team. And he's currently number 106 in the WCS with 350 points. So, making a bit of plays in there, getting some points. So, yeah, pretty good. I think he had like the, he was in the Premier League for Season 3 or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but he's been going around a lot of stuff and doing a lot of good things. So there's so much information on Liquipedia, I can't read it all, man. It would just it would do my head in. But of course, up the top left, we do know this player a little bit better. It is of course DeMusliM. We've cast a couple of games from him before, I think, off the top of my head. Maybe not, but he has been around for quite a long time, been doing a lot of awesome stuff. He is from the UK, and he plays for Evil Geniuses at the moment. He's currently number 85 on the WCS with 525 points. So both of these players, they're ranked pretty close-ish. They're ranked close-ish. Close enough so that we can say it is definitely not an overwhelming favour in either player's advantage. So we're going to be expecting a very good matchup right here. And here we go. Looks like DeMuslim's a little bit faster on getting that orbital. But they're basically going for the same play right now, the exact same play, and it's going to be interesting to see where they divert and how their diversions actually help change things up. So, yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. There should be seeing a gas coming out from Neeb right about now. I'm just looking at what DeMuslim's doing. Maybe no, actually, yes, there it is. There it is. So, getting the second gas, and we got the second gas going on down here as well. So obviously when you start getting out a factory and you want a starport to follow it up, and you need reactors and all that other sort of crud, you need that second gas because everything costs money, man. It's just all costs so much money. So unfortunate, but there we go. There's a starport. We got a starport going out for DeMusliM as well. He's also got a tech lab going on the factory. Actually, I can't think this is for tanks this early. I gotta think this is for Banshees. You're gonna move the starport over, and wow, look at that. Neeb actually doing the exact same play. We should see Banshees coming out for both players. That would be crazy because, oh man, we basically could see both players lose. I'm not sure how that would work, but or maybe this tech lab is just for Stimpack. I really don't think so though. I really think it's for Banshees. There we go, the starport moves over. We got a starport over here. So DeMusliM just a slight bit ahead, but both players are going for cloaked Banshees at the moment. And this is freaking insane because, yeah, I mean, neither player really has anything to deal with cloaked Banshees. I mean, they've got the Marines, and they've got, what's this damn spell called? They've got the orbital, the scanner sweep. They got scans. So you got Marines and you got scans, and they're not going to have a lot of energy for scans, and the Marines are not going to be able to. I don't know. It's really going to come down to how these things work. We actually do have a Widow Mine being planted down in the mineral line for DeMusliM, so he may be guessing that Banshees are coming out. If we have a look, he has absolutely no vision of the opponent player. So yeah, this Widow Mine buried down here, I have no idea, but it's definitely placed out there where he expects the Banshees to come in. And here we go, first Banshee coming out, first Banshee for DeMusliM, and that's going to be awesome. We've got no Widow Mine down here. I actually do have a Widow Mine, but it's over the other side. So what the hell are these guys like? I don't know, just looking at each other's screens or something like that, and Neeb's like, oh, he's got a Widow Mine over there. That's not a bad idea, but they're both going to come in the opposite side of the Widow Mine, And there we go, workers starting to get owned. Cloak coming down, and DeMusliM is going to get in there first. He's going to start doing a ton of damage. He does not have enough for a scan right now, but the Raven coming out, and this guy is going to have to get back. Meanwhile, a Widowmine hit on this Banshee. Obviously was not expecting a Widowmine there, and really great play from DeMusliM getting that Widowmine down. And there's the Raven. So both players obviously know how to play this, and both the Banshees are going to get away. Pretty beat up. This one 0 kills, this one with 6 kills. And if we have a look at the units lost, yes, look at that, 3 Marines and 3 workers. So DeMusliM definitely with the advantage right there, and this Widowmine really paying for itself beautifully by getting a direct hit on the Banshee. Not quite enough to kill it, but enough to make it think twice about going in and actually killing anything. So we've got a bunch of Marines here and a Raven, so that's about 10 Marines. And Neeb has 7 Marines. He would have had 10, but he lost 3 to that Banshee. And they're both, Neeb is the only one with the tank at the moment. He can siege this up and should be able to push this back quite easily, I feel like. Although a Raven bomb right on that tank and hit all the Marines, it would be quite devastating. So yeah, he's got to get his expansion out nice and easy. I mean, the tank is basically going to stop any sort of Marine pressure that DeMusliM could possibly put on the map. So he's just going to have to back off right there. And they're actually going for their 3rd bases right now. Neeb has actually got a bit of a jump start on it. It's almost finished. DeMusliM only just starting his 3rd base. But both players with the secondary base going on. Both players with exactly 33 workers. So very close. Oh, the Banshee's coming in here. The Marines going for the watchtower. They get the watchtower in time. They see the Banshee coming. And that is going to allow DeMusliM to get the proper defenses over here. He's already got a Widowmine, so he's already ahead of the curve. But now he can send his Vikings over there, and instantly the Banshee is going to be going for the other side. But there's a watchtowers are being held over here, so he's just completely out of luck. Going to be seen by these watchtowers as well, although the Banshee may just be going for whatever's guarding this watchtower. And there we go. So now with the watchtowers taken out, Neeb can go for whatever side he wants, and DeMusliM may not be able to see it. So the Marine's looking for the Banshee, and he finds it in all the wrong ways. So very interesting. Is this the same Banshee as before? I feel like it is. It's got 5 kills now, but they're mainly Marines. I don't think there's got any actual dudes been killed. No, it's actually a Widowmine got killed at some point. So that's interesting. I wonder how he killed that Widowmine. But regardless, we do have this one Banshee still alive. And this one Banshee. Ooh, it's very interesting. Is he going to fall for the same thing again? The Widowmine, he needs Raven. Get the Raven over there. Oh, he's got a scan as well. I don't know if he actually scanned it. I don't know why he would have scanned it, because he had the Raven. Maybe there was a scan. It must have been a scan from Neeb trying to kill this Widowmine before it was too late. So he scanned, tried to see the Widowmine, but then the Raven got in range and the Widowmine, boom, took him out. But Neeb's definitely not out of it yet. He's got his 3rd base up. He needs to take out these rocks, but that's not going to be too hard at all. Actually, he's just going to run straight past. 4 medevacs, a ton of Marines, so he's got a fairly decent looking thing. Looks like DeMusliM's going for these rocks as well, and that's going to give him a nice extra bit of defense. He's got a few tanks, he's got a few Vikings. I don't know why he's got so many Vikings, because I mean, I don't know what they could be hitting right now. I mean, there's one Banshee, and there's probably like a Raven, and maybe it's for medevacs. Maybe he's just got the those guys set out to kill medevacs, which is not a bad play. I mean, if you think your opponent's going for Triple M with tank support, then medevacs are going to be a big part of that play, and getting out a decent amount of Vikings is going to be instrumental. And Neeb does have 3 Vikings of his own, so he's obviously thinking along the same lines. Oh, maybe they just really want to kill that Raven. I really don't know, but of course it could be devastating to have a Raven in the right situation. Just I don't know, putting down auto turrets, seeker missiling the Marines, any sort of crazy crap like that. So we'll be seeing exactly how these forces do just a little bit later. Of course, I don't think tanks or Marines are affected by point defense drones, so it can't be that. I just don't know. Maybe it's so they can just put Widow Mines everywhere and the Ravens don't see them, because that is annoying. That's really annoying. Auto turrets taking out the Marines who tried to get the watchtower. Unfortunate. What do we got going over here? Just a Marine? I keep expecting drops to come in, but it's not happening so far. Income-wise, looks like Neeb has pulled out a little bit of a lead here. So it's pretty awesome for him. We'll see if he can hold this lead. Because, of course, at some point he has to stop building workers. He's not building workers at the moment. And DeMusliM's still building workers, so he may be catching up to that point. He may even be surpassing that point. We'll never know. Or we actually will know, because we're going to keep casting this game. But yeah, Neeb, with that little bit of an economic edge, has got a nice bit of army out here. And he does have a very nice amount of forces. So there's 3 tanks out here and a crap ton of Marines. No extra support though. I feel like his Vikings are off in La La Land, wherever that is. But just Triple M, sorry, Marine Medevac, I suppose, because there's no more orders, and Siege tank's backing it up. Should be pretty awesome. He's actually going to go down here, hoping to see a base. And here we go, the Siege tank's setting up on the high ground. So it's going to be all about the Siege tanks. And right now, DeMusliM definitely has the defensive advantage. He's actually going to be pushing through, hoping to snipe out some medevacs. But he's going to be so careful of those stimmed Marines who could very, very easily take him out. They didn't even stim there, but man, just 1 second in the wrong place and you are getting owned. Let's have a look at the upgrades. Looks like Neeb has 1-1. DeMusliM with the same upgrades, but DeMusliM has started 2-2 and 1 weapons for his vehicles. So he's a little bit ahead on that front. And he's definitely catching up to Neeb, who is already supply capped and is already working on his 4th base. Here come the forces, hoping to push out a little bit. There's tanks sieging up. Oh, some of them within range of the other. 1 tank within range of this tank. And he needs to scan so he can start hitting that. But the scan came a little bit too late and that tank will survive. Wow, not good at all. A couple of tanks being lost there. Really not much point. And the Vikings coming out trying to do a bit hit. So I think Neeb has a bit better placement here actually. He seems to be getting range on a lot of tanks. And we've actually got a Banshee in the back sniping out the tanks. We've got Seeker missiles as well. The tanks aren't that fast. Oh, 2 tanks going down. The 3rd one at critical health. So Seeker missiles, really, really good because, of course, the tanks just aren't fast enough to get away from it. You'd have to pick it up in a medevac and fly it away to save it from the Seeker missiles. But he's just not doing that. And DeMusliM running into these remaining 3 tanks. His Marines taking an absolute beating. And Neeb's own Marines running in, trying to make some damage done on the tanks. They get this done down to low health, but not quite enough to finish it off. And DeMusliM losing a ton of Marines there, but managing to hold on to most of his tanks. And that is really what the name of the game is here. I mean, when it's talking about TvT like this, it's Marine Tank. The name of the game is sacrifice your Marines to kill the enemy tanks. That's all there is to it. If you sack your Marines and you kill the enemy tanks, you are going to win the game. If you lose your tanks, then you are starting to get a bit screwed. Because, yeah, you do not want to lose your tanks at any point. Because tanks are so expensive and Marines are so cheap. So, you might as well just, yeah. And that's basically it, man. You will sacrifice as many Marines as you can to kill the enemy tanks. So here we go. DeMusliM currently in the lead with 13 tanks over 10. That's how we're going to be deciding it, with how many tanks they've got. And here we go. It's going to be sieging up here. And he just needs a scan and these tanks are going to get obliterated. Just too many tanks. These tanks are protecting the thing in here, but he can take out some nice stuff. That poor armory in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we've got a medevac coming in here. Is looking to drop on this edge, but tanks are going to be covering that side, although they're not covering the entire bit. And some tanks thinking about moving over to the main base as well. So trying to split up Neeb, but he's got his tanks in a perfect position here to cover this ramp and this ramp. But I don't think he's covering the 4th base with any tanks. He's got a planetary fortress there, but these buildings at the front are going to be wiped out. We've got a medevac coming out here. He's going to be hitting a couple of stuff there, not really that much. The guys going in there, they've set a couple of buildings on fire, then they're going to be getting out of there. Marine drops on top of the tanks. Oh, DeMusliM. It was a nice plan, but you stretched yourself too thin, and leaving your tanks unprotected, always a horrible decision, because that is what happens when you leave your tanks unprotected. You get a Marine drop on top of them, and they all die. So, bit of a mistake there, I gotta say. He took out a couple of buildings there, That barracks, I think that barracks actually survived. He took out a factory, and he lost so many tanks from that beautiful play by Neeb. So you never leave your tanks undefended, and that's definitely even up the tanks numbers. We got 8 versus 7 right there, and here we go. Looks like DeMusliM going to try and make a move here. The Marines running in. You can see they're actually attacking Marines, but they'll want to be switching over to the tanks very soon. 1 tank, 2 tanks, 3 tanks, 4 tanks going down. Great play by Neeb. Pushing out there, taking a lot of hits, but getting a lot of tanks down. And right now, we're back down to 5 tanks versus 7. And DeMusliM, having suffered a number of small defeats, is going to have to lick his wounds a little bit, because I feel like he's not in a position to really press Neeb anytime soon. I think he needs to get those tanks pushed out. He's currently producing 2 at a time, same as Neeb. Maybe another factory might help him out. Neeb actually had another factory, but it got taken out by all those Marines running over. So here we go. The other 2 tanks coming out, and he's got it back up. He cannot hold here. He just can't. There's no actual tank support on these Marines, but there's no tank support for DeMusliM either. They just got put up. And DeMusliM, everything is starting to crumble. He needs to fall back into a defensive point, use the high ground advantage to try and hold up. He can't get away with just the single tank sort of holding stuff off sort of thing. It's just not working. There's just too many Marines for Neeb, although the Marine numbers are going to be crashing down right here. And here we go. Going to be taking out the rocks. He's going to be doing exactly what DeMusliM did on the other side of the map. But I think he's going to be defending his tanks a little bit better. He's going to be learning from DeMusliM's mistakes a little bit. You can see he's left quite a bit of Marines here. And hopefully that's going to give him what he needs. The rest of the Marines managing to chase this command center away. And it's not looking good for DeMusliM. Not looking good at all. So here we go. He's going to fall back. He's happy with the day's work. He's actually sending out a medevac. I don't know why. It's obviously just for scouting purposes right there. And yeah, look at the upgrades right now. DeMusliM with 3, 3, and 2, and Neeb with 2, 2, and 1. So that's the only thing that DeMuslim's really got going for him, is his upgrade advantage. Although that upgrade advantage is about to be closed off in just about 2 seconds. And then we are really going to be seeing Neeb go to work. Although DeMusliM has got up a ton more units, and his siege tanks are in range of these ones, I think. Just in range, and the Marines really going forward. Really pushing in. Lost a bit of Marines, but he had the overwhelming army right there. And, I mean, Neeb just didn't have it at that point, at that moment. He did not have it, and DeMusliM just punished him, wiped out a ton of his forces, and I think DeMusliM is definitely back in the game. He's no longer on his back foot. He's definitely back in the game, and we will see how he does here. He's going to be flanking in. Oh, the tanks are exposed. The tanks are so exposed right here. Gets out 2 of them. But then the Marines are going to be providing the shield, but there's tanks on the lower ground, and these Marines have to be so scared. They're getting taken out, the guys coming in from the side, but there's not enough tanks to really punish these reinforcers. There's 4 tanks, maybe that's enough. There's tanks getting in range, and they're going to be hitting the other tanks, or just hitting the Marines. It's going to be down to the wire here. I think DeMusliM just has the Marine advantage, just has the tank advantage, and this force gets wiped out once again. The medevac's making a run for it, and DeMusliM with another small victory here in the scheme of things, but the small victories start to add up in this sort of battle. And most importantly, he's protected his 5th base over there. Is actually, yes, it's his 5th base. Now he's going to be pushing in. Going again for this section right here. We'll see if he can do it. He's really going to be pushing in. Neeb right on the battle. These 2 tanks, he thought he could sneak them in. It did not work, but the rest of the forces are going to pay a heavy price to try and get in range of these tanks. It's just not going to happen. Everything just getting annihilated. He's managed to get his beachhead down here, this small area. I don't know whether it's going to last, but a lot of Neeb's forces are dying. The tanks are still alive. 1 goes down, the other one survives. This is huge for DeMusliM. This is the first time he's managed to get a beachhead on this main area and actually hold it. And now he can just shell workers to his heart's content. And Neeb has no real Marine forces that he can send in there to get rid of that tank. His Marine forces have just been owned all over the place, and the tank is just free to go to work. He's going to be moving both of his tanks in here probably and just take it out. Oh, the tank's going nuts. But he's also got some tanks back here that Neeb was not expecting, and the other tank's going down, and we are at the very edge of the end for Neeb right now. He's behind by 70 supply. He's lost a number of significant engagements recently. He's being hit from all sides, and everything is just going wrong for Neeb right now. He's still trying to get rid of these 3 tanks, but the main army over there is just owning everything. He's got his own 5th base. That's going to go down. He's got a bunch of Marines over there hitting into his force, and he's just overwhelmed. So Really, really good job from DeMusliM turning this around. I thought at some point he was just, oh, he was getting owned, but managed to turn it around, managed to come back with some really, really great Marine tank plays. And this is Marine tank at its absolute finest between two Terran players. So very, very happy that we got to watch this, and very, very happy that well, that we got to watch this. So congratulations to DeMusliM for a very well fought game, and congratulations to Neeb for such awesome play, man. He really played it really, really nice. So it's just the barest edge of skill which allowed DeMusliM to finally come out with the victory, but Neeb was with him the entire way. Really, really pushed it out. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching this awesome game, and stay tuned tomorrow where we'll be casting another one. So this has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.